one, did put a couple of roadblocks up there, but ultimately the two teams we expected to get to the finals are in the finals, and I cannot wait, Scrawny.
So let's just do it, man. Listen, I've got some talking points on the docket, but first and foremost, because it's Furia, because it's Liquid, we could just get fireworks in the pistol. So let's side the conversation, Vince, and get ready for the action, because here it comes at you. Pistol gonna have two T's to the top of mid first and foremost. Grim, highest rated player of the event. His first event with Liquid, just taking over the online scene as he has. And he gives Quesarado a little taste of what is to come. Insta-gush top mid, down to 3 HP. No casualty, but he does fall back.
Yeah, forces back the aggression, which is also important. Twist, spotting a couple of pixels up on Art, who is using that smoke to actually hide in. He's all alone. He's trying to stall enough time now. More players coming in. Grim takes point, block, insta-kill onto Quesarado, turns his attention to Yuri. And the new recruit has posted up too, but Art position now gonna be found. He hid in the smoke, and now he will strike. USP in hand, that's gonna be 3 kills down to Art, and that could be the round to follow up, but Elige may have to zip out through the smoke. Oh my God! Eviscerate envelops on Liquid, through on B site, and man, already this game delivering.
Yo, just inject it into my veins. Art on the side of the smoke, and of course Grim feeling so good as he runs into that bomb site. He killed Quesarado, which he had started off in middle, and then obviously those 2 other beautiful shots, but Art just crawling back behind them, denying plant. Elige, the fadeaway headshot through smoke. Oh, it is so good, and it is just the start. It is literally the first damn round, man. Mac 10 for Stewie 2K. Pistols up for Henny. He's going to get himself a little bit of deagle damage here, softening Grim on the AK, but the first kill's still found. Thomas on Art. Desert Eagles for everybody else. And I think Christine's perfect prediction of the map veto really does kind of cement in our heads exactly what Furia themselves say. They don't change for anyone. The veto did not change across series in terms of their picks. And Art's playstyle won't either. I love that last line in Art's interview, Vince. You can change all the players you want. We still don't respect you. And then he grins, just like Vinny. Smile from ear to ear. Well, that pistol round almost had them elated. But we get that stack up still outside the A site. It's a tense one. Lots of bodies near. And Art just waiting to hit from behind. But of course, Grim, he's currently holding that too.
That smoke play proves he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk as well, Scrawny. The friendly assassin now coming round the back with the FAMAS. Good flashbang in, but the CT's able to just stand their ground. Twists now encircling from the ramp. 2 kills go his way, but a deagle up close is going to put down Twist from Vinny, who's now trying to go in for more. Liquid actually have the advantage now in this post plant, but it's not necessarily planted for Elige, so he has to wide swing, and in doing so, Art may be there to deliver, but for the 2nd consecutive time, Elige will clutch out for Liquid with 1 player left. Liquid take the 2-0.
Man, intimidating tactics, just stalled out on that A ramp. Team Liquid there from the beginning of the round. Art was down beneath them for a solid 30 to 40 seconds, deciding not to go into the forklift room because obviously it was being watched the entire time. You said he talks the talk, he walks the walk. Well, he definitely didn't run last round. He bought so much time, but he's the first casualty here. Nafly is going to be able to catch him top mid. Henny playing his position, dying through the yellow tarp. And this is the gun round from Furia. This is what we were waiting for, Vince. And so far, it's looking further from success than the last 2 rounds combined. Still, there is a chance with close proximity on the MP9. They hear that utility usage. They know Liquid's near. They're just outside of the doorway, and Vinny's trying to connect some damage here. He's flustered by the Molotov and dropped by Elige. Unkillable Elige. 5-0 for the moment. More than a minute on the clock, and Team Liquid in full damage control as they try to cultivate back cash for the losses of the last 2 rounds. 3-0 the start.
Turns out Elige mortal after all. He is the only casualty of that round for Liquid, but as you highlighted, that was a rifle round and it fell eerily short and silent. And maybe there is no respect, but perhaps there should be from FURIA. Last time these teams met on Vertigo, it was 16-8 to Liquid. Sure, some things have changed since then. It was a month and a half ago. But they need to be careful. FURIA, aggression through middle, and Alicia again. He clearly is rising for the occasion. Hasn't always been required throughout the journey of Liquid. They have not dropped a single map on their way to the grand finals, but if Alicia's feeling it, FURIA are going to have a few problems.
Absolutely. That's you're hitting it on the head, man. They haven't needed Alicia to step up too big. The two highest rated players for the event thus far, Grim and Nav. Oh. Third and fourth, Art and Henny. So those are the stars we're looking for in terms of the consistency. But if today's the day Alicia comes alive, then FURIA may have their hands full. Vinny, are you kidding? Just connects into the head of Nav. This is one of those rounds that looks completely unwinnable, but Vinny is looking spectacular, and Alicia even better. 4 kills for him from 5 to 9. And Team Liquid, for as good as that round looked just previously versus the buy of FURIA, we get another one that's just a total nail-biter. Look at this. Explain that to me. God damn, the individuals look so good, Vince. We're only 4 rounds deep, and I'm on the edge of my seat.
Alicia on the edge of 200 ADR, 191 to his name. It's early, but goes to show the impact that he's had. Grim comes in with 1, and it's that man Alicia that's been shut down first. And with that talisman dead and buried, around 5, maybe this is where the Brazilians get their first success. Grim, around the smoke, makes some noise and gets sprayed out from Yuri. And this round should fall into place. Nafly, how much damage can you do on your way out? You know the CT economy is going to be lackluster. But with all the deaths that have came down for Liquid, there are 3 players that are looking healthy, but Twist and Stewie going to be feeling the economic pinch somewhat. So if Nafly could post up a couple kills from this position, it just puts FURIA down to maybe a few less grenades. Maybe one of those weapons gets demoted to a FAMAS, or maybe even an MP9. You can still have impact here, Naf. He does have control of the bomb. This is going to make FURIA split out and respect that both sides may be engaged on. In doing so, he may be able to divide these down the middle and make something spectacular happen as he flanks in towards the backside of A. This could get the drop onto Yuri, who is now turning his attention back onto this side, though. So once he comes around the corner, that's why maybe a dead man. And indeed, Yuri puts the final nail in the coffin. FURIA finally on the board.
So far, we've got a battle on 3 fronts. We've got Naf versus Art on the top of mid. We've got Vinny versus Twist down at the base of B. And then the majority of the gunfight's still just trying to get that early control over top of ramp. But despite Liquid's 4 rounds in a row, it takes 1 victory from FURIA to get them to delve back into the pistols. And they definitely could have afforded some sort of a force. Alicia has 6,000 Twists. He just got run boosted around the side of the building, nearly catching Vinny by surprise. I said this front was between Vinny and Twist. Vinny picking up the kill last round, and Naf a labored deagle workout that leaves his arms weak, unable to finish off that frag. This is FURIA's chance to convert. But again, to go back to that first point, Team Liquid, look at the money they've saved on Alicia here. You know, there's a world where if they felt like they had to, they definitely could have come in with a better effort in winning this 6th round. Grim, Tech 9 headshot to at least get 1 kill racked up versus FURIA. And then they've got a second player compromised behind the wooden wall. Oh, Grim, distance, Tech 9 tap. Does take the head off of another for FURIA. So they have 2 survivors. Op on Henny, AK Yuri. Easy rebuy for the CTs, but an easier purchase on Liquid. And this time, they've got an op. There is going to be an excellent op show, perhaps. The duel that could go down on ramp will feature Henny playing what is his position, Vince, behind those yellow tarps with eyes deep down A. If Stewie thinks he can vest him, so be it. But Art's got that second sniper, and this is weird because he's going to be in your back line. He's going down the ladder with an op as Stewie opens up shop.
Art has tanked but not landed the frag, and then shoots between the middle of the 2. Twist offers himself up. So the AWP has been put down. And they pick up the secondary AWP mainly because Twist's on 1 HP gives him extra firepower. I'd expect to see them drop that. 2 AWPs on T side, Vertigo, kind of unheard of, to be honest. That's not ideal. K-Serato's going to be pressured as a result of that, but he can make a different angle come into effect. If Twist peaks, he's a goner with 1 bullet, and K-Serato's whiff smoke means nothing. It's all by design, or at least that's the way he'll try and spin it. And now Stewie, 1 versus 3. With FURIA taking the first casualties, they got the first pick from Stewie. And then K-Serato's awkward positioning. You thought this was going to go their way, but K-Serato gets nullified. It's a great cost to the HP of Stewie, who now finds himself 1v2 against the opposite AWPer of Henny and Vinny, who's been landing some really succulent shots. 35 seconds left with control of the bomb. He slowly, steadily makes his way towards B. He knows he doesn't have the map control, the map presence, or the utility to justify going back over on the A side. So he's going to try and stand his ground and fight here on B. Peering around the corner, no one's home. Good Molotov tossed in, forces him away from the site. 15 seconds to go. Stewie aggressive, nearly gets the shot, needs to be careful. Judging that Molotov spread to perfection, but Vinny, realizing the time was low, went in for a peek, and FURIA with their 3rd in a row.
K-Serato, just incredible 4K here. 1v1, V1, V2, and he gets that player in the back line. Obviously, Twist having the AWP had 1 chance at the shot and also 1 HP, and he wasn't long for this world. Team Liquid, that was an opening they absolutely hoped for. Getting that kill yet again towards ramp. Stewie with the opening AWP shot, finding Art, who had the audacity to go down ladder and try and play their back line with the sniper of all things. But this is just evidence to me, Vince, that we have finally hit a point in the tournament, and it's apt that it's in the finals, that any player can win any round in this matchup. That's the beauty of it. We've got the individual levels at an all-time high for Dreamhack Summer 2020. Pistols going to be made quick work of as Yuri finds his connection onto Elige, and K-Serato takes the head of Twist on B. There's the answer. Stewie, he had been able to sneak into the construction, and he almost gets himself a second. But it's Yuri with the 3K. I'm so excited to see how this A site develops, Vince, both on T and CT side, because I would say that having watched Grim across multiple maps now, normally on the defense, he's been tasked with being the anchor. He's been playing B side on Mirage, he's been playing B side on Inferno, and with different teammates at times. When we saw him open up the tournament on Vertigo versus the Pug Gods, he absolutely ran rampant. He looked more like a terrorist than a CT when we saw him over on that ramp room. He was jumping through smokes with MP9s like art. And I'm very curious to see if we kind of get that version of him once they get over there. It's a long time coming, as we are only 8 rounds deep and tied at 4. But that's something I'm keeping my finger on the pulse of, Vince. Buys on each side, no AWP for Liquid this time around, however.
We know they're completely fine with this mobile AK hit squad. That's what they typically do. They don't have to pick up an AWP. They don't have the necessary prioritized AWPer. Elige spraying up through onto Art, doing damage to Henny in the process. He's been dropped to 12. Needs to be also careful. Molotov not quite connecting to force him out of sight, but look at this. Fire all over the side portion of the site. No man is going to be able to push there for a little while yet. Smoke onto sandbags. Yuri taking significant chunk from the grenade as Twist just watches the other side to make sure that FURIA cannot push and flank in. They can play aggressively, FURIA. They're not scared to do that on their CT side, and Liquid know that all too well. Naflight lining up the smoke. Does seem like they're going to keep some presence over on A, as Stewie can make his presence known, but Yuri puts him down and silences him. K-Serato using that smoke as a bit of sanctuary, spraying up through. The 2-player push, not going to be successful just yet, but now the second 2 come into play, and Elige and Naflight, although they're both wounded, are putting down frags. There's another one. Elige onto K-Serato. Henny begging that they're going to peek him at wide right side, but Elige not interested, just goes for the plant instead, and with 2 players, Liquid don't really need to make moves. They don't need to overextend. It's down to Henny to move in, and Nafly, the firing squad, is good from Liquid. They hold the fort. They take the 5-4 lead. It's their first round in 4.
Man, I am watching FURIA's players play on the side of smokes almost round after round. Art in the very first pistol. Yuri on the side of ramp has gotten Grim as his victim multiple times already, and this was looking like another one of those moments. There was a moment where Twist is sitting bottom B, and there's absolutely no presence from the defense on that bomb site. They had all gone to the A site, but they shifted attention and presence back to the other side just in time. Not enough to get the round, because we saw that 2v4 unfold. Alish, he's going to get in front of the smoke here, catching Yuri off, but not being able to win the duel. Thomas bests the AK off on Art. Oh, catching Stewie in the jump, and a second versus Grim. Art, whether it's top mid, through ladder, or down the ramp of A, is just looking to swing the big green today. A 2 versus 5 looking way too unlikely. This game is back and forth, both within rounds and in terms of score. Liquid had just pulled ahead, only to be clawed right back into the mud. 5-5, inevitable. Unless Naf goes real nasty. Vince, he's already got ops posted on him. He will take the head of Vinny at least, and there's some sort of a victory within that. Keeping the cash so close, round after round, has been Liquid. Nafly knows he's getting boxed in. His time limited. 2 CTs per side.
Solid effort from Naf, but ultimately, as you highlighted, inevitable did come into play. Art with 2 big kills down ramp. No tactical timeout has been deployed yet from Liquid. And I would also argue, Scrawny, although this is 5-5, when you consider that Alish has been last man standing 3 times for rounds on Liquid, this could have easily been a very one-sided half of FURIA if things had gone slightly different. And now Art's going to go aggressively again, flashbang in, Incendiary pop down, so Henny can just maintain his position. Forcing back Liquid, they want to get up close and personal. They've got Tech 9s and P250s with a Deagle. Not any great firepower, not much utility left remaining, just 3 flashes. Tossing them in now over on the side. Art sees Stewie, who is switching away from the orb. That's why Stewie survives a little bit longer. And now Art puts him down. Even when he can't land the frags, he's still tagging out. And now Vinny comes in, Twist spins and pivots into play. Deagle in hand, wasn't far off, but Art for his 3rd, and FURIA for their 6th.
This is insane, man. Art's combat opping, the proximity of some of these rounds as well. The kills are coming in CQC. Dude, I feel like Art is like a Ditto. Okay, he just consumes the style and skill of his teammates. Like Henny brings this op firepower to the roster, and now Art looking like a better sniper than ever. This scares the hell out of me, Vince. This double sniper setup, its ability to get aggressive, because it's combined so incredibly with the confident play style of FURIA. You know, they've always been in your face. They've always been able to rush. And we know what Art does with Mac 10s and MP9s. Now he's doing it with an op. Henny's posted here on these sandbags, and there's lots of players coming his way, fully equipped to boot. But Yuri, he finds the better of the timing. And these smoke grenades, they are so constantly on the side of smoke. Stewie, he gets back his double. A crucial multi-kill, but there's just as many players on the flank, and Twist catches the first, not the second. K-Serrano swapping to the sniper, also cleared out by Nafly. Team Liquid not needing to move forward onto the bomb site, but rather just sitting back and allowing FURIA to give them kill after kill. Stewie turns, drops the first 2, they check their back, Vince, and that's where the final frags come in. No bomb plant needed, no footing on the site. FURIA, they just want to fight.
That previous round really indicates that double-edged sword mentality of FURIA's play. That time they got caught. That time Art's aggression got him killed, and K-Serrano went down very much the same way. They could have held the site, maybe had a bit more success. So it can flip on its head, and if Liquid make that adaptation, if they can be more fluid, and allow FURIA to basically walk themselves into traps, that could be the way that they end this half 9-6. This should be a gimme of a round, forcing out Henny with the Incendiary, and he will be finished off. Nades being exchanged, but more importantly for Liquid's frags being exchanged, and they're going the way of Liquid now. One of the last 2 purchased up on sandbags, Molotov out into the open, and Twist will not miss out. Art, Deagle, 1 versus 3. Needed that first kill cleanly, you feel, if he was going to pull this one off. And Liquid just edge ahead. And it's really cool to see as well that FURIA implementing a sort of strat that not many of the teams can really get away with this double op setup on CT side. It's really facilitated by playing to their own aggressive advantages. How many teams would get away with double ops on Vertigo? Not many, I'd argue.
Not many at all. I don't think there aren't many teams who can survive even this pace. I mean, look at Naf. He's literally just sprinting, spraying his AK, Vince. Like, we're watching 2 flyweights just throw 100 strikes a minute, it seems. They are not letting off the pedal whatsoever. Leash, he's already on the A site because Liquid, having calculated that this should be the save, look to absolutely bully through the CT side, and they will do so. Twist is trying to hold off on the flank. There is 3 players here, and he takes a lot of damage, but then recovers. Gets his second, and Naf right by his side to try and close this one out, to give Team Liquid their lead back by 2. They will secure more rounds on the first half than FURIA. That much we know. Can they get the 9-6? There's a buy on the cards for FURIA that could tell us otherwise. But I feel like we've been casting for 10 minutes, and we're already through the first half. This is a lightning quick Counter-Strike.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing, Scrawny. This has been one of the quickest halves of CS
It's so
I've
good.
ever seen.
It's so good, Vince. Like, you know, it's not the textbook we're used to, but is there anything more entertaining?
This is why I'm a big fan of Vertigo. I know a lot of people out there aren't a huge fan of the map, but it gives you games like this when you have
And FURIA and Liquid. It's this perfect storm.
Oh, Henny. That's peak. Oh, he gets 2. I didn't think he got to control the spray well enough, but he did. And now Stewie in this same position gets 2, nearly spins for a 3rd. Can't get it done. It's going to finish as even as we expected. 8-7 to Liquid.
I can only hope that halftime break was long enough for y'all to catch your breath, because we had a stunning first half of Counter-Strike here on Vertigo. And Vince, I don't think that a little pause in the middle is going to change anything at all. Team Liquid to the defense now, looking to hang on to that lead with a second pistol round win. But it's not the names we would have expected at the top of the scoreboards. Yuri with the highest ADR for FURIA, Elige on the side of Liquid. We know that talent runs deep. I would say so far, this half has proven it, Vince. Anybody, everybody popping off tonight in this grand finals.
Poised perfectly to go the full distance, but we still need to find out which of these two teams will have their hand raised above their head for Vertigo. Grim gonna be pressured in, smoke in his eyes, affording the bomb plant. That grenade though, chunking Grim, gonna make this retake that little bit more difficult, but a solid counter nade put into place. They know that Henny still has to be perched on the side. There was no way for him to rotate and retreat out of there. Case Dorado, Glock in hand, they're gonna line up for him. The first pistol went the way of Liquid, but Case Dorado is gonna try and take this one away from them. Art pushing through the smoke, spraying them down, and FURIA, the Brazilians, have got their revenge. 8-8 with FURIA hot off the back of a bomb plant.
Absolutely. They got that bomb plant for completely free. And this is where we have to now wonder, right? This is the biggest chance for Grim in terms of his career. Coming into Liquid, coming into this event and playing it online. But this is his hardest opponent yet. And right now he is that A player, and FURIA have an affinity for playing aggressive up A ramp. He is going to have to get accustomed to this level and this pace real quick, or else FURIA will continue to turn through this A defense. And you see it in their playstyle. Art, he just cheats through the smoke round after round. I mean, so similar to the first pistol, Vince, where instead of, you know, having to push forwards, he just sat back. The same situation, catching the defense off guard. Elige able to kill him, but Yuri gives cover. Henny clearing flank with Case Dorado by his side. That's the numbers game from FURIA, working their way through the A site, and expect them to do so. I feel like FURIA are one of the best teams when it comes to just aggressively stamping their name on the A bomb site of Vertigo. And until you make them stop, and I mean make them stop, by forcing your way down the ramp, by completely shutting them out with utility and spams and sprays and gunfire, they will keep it up. So let's see how much further they can flex this, because obviously with just pistols for Liquid here in the 18th round, it's looking like FURIA hit double digits first.
You need to make FURIA respect you. You need to pay that bounty in blood. And once those bullets and shrapnel begin to land, FURIA may think twice about going aggressively. I mentioned before that last time these teams met each other, it was Liquid that were victorious 16-8, so FURIA have already done that a little bit better. Back then, albeit without Grim, Nitro was playing instead, Elige 25 and Naflight on 27 frags. Meanwhile, it was Art top fragging for the Brazilians on 21, so it just gives you a bit of context how the last time that these two teams met, things went. With Grim stepping in, who knows what kind of result we're going to have here. But obviously talking over this round, as it was by and large an eco, Naflight, the only CT to put up the kill, nearly gets 2, but FURIA get the job done as anticipated. But here we go, Scrawny. This is what we've been waiting for. It's the main course rifle round.
Last piece of context, Vince, because you bring it up and you aptly so, but that was also for the CS Summit event, the very tail end of the events before the player break, and all of the series before that, FURIA have Liquid's numbers. So, you know, there's that little bit of me that's like, well, you know, they earned their break. You know, they get to lose that one VO3. But now the intensity is cranked because we're post-player break, we're fresh rostered, and FURIA looking to take titles yet again. Look, Grim, same position as the pistol, same result. FURIA, they're just going to charge headstrong at him. Although last time they had players coming in from short, and Elige, well, this time he stands tall. Art's low, Grim still posted, able to take the headshot. Weapons making a world of difference as Grim takes down 3.
Well, we said they had to force their will and force FURIA to respect them on this A site. Maybe this is the round that does it, because it wasn't even close. Grim, turrets on the boxes, spraying down 3, and now FURIA have themselves a MAC-10. They could afford Case Dorado on an AK-47, so that suggests we're going to have something pretty explosive. And they are heading back over onto this side of the map again, so it seems they haven't quite garnered that respect yet.
Nope, they're gonna try and hit it again. And Grim, he's in the same position. He is such an anchor at times. Reminds me of Flamey. You know, cool, calm, collected type of guy, and then just mows you down with absolutely no mercy. He's giving up those orange boxes because FURIA have consistently thrown a grenade on his head. It's the reason he lost half his health in the pistol. Completely smoked out of the position. The follow-up mollies, far more utility usage this round than what we saw in the last. And so far, so good. FURIA already getting Yuri in his post-plant position. A bit of a cheeky spot, Vince, to look to lock down the line. Henny, he should die as he's burned out into the open, but he got his job done. That bomb is planted, and the man advantage maintained for the moment. Grim's back where the round started. Vinny has another smoke up close, and these CTs, it's not going to be easy to try and push their way past this crossfire. Vinny, he gets fully blinded, but he shoots into the smoke, comes back out, tries to get kills, but can't. It's 4 members up for Team Liquid as we tie at 10.
It's a great look for Liquid as well, because early on in the round, that utility was exquisite. It forced back the CTs. They didn't go aggressively through side or ramp. They effectively gave it up. So to have that confidence in your own ability to say, okay, guys, look, we can give up the bomb plant. That's not an issue. We can retake this easy. Good incendiary put down effectively yielded Henny useless. He couldn't do anything. He had to peek out, and in doing so, he died, and that retake was pristine, so clean. Maybe FURIA, with a different side to Liquid, this is where that respect comes in. They're going to call the tactical timeout. They can afford. Art and Yuri down to $3,200, not ideal, but they could still purchase a Galil, or they could even drop down to Mac 10s if they want to go aggressively. K-Serrado, $6,000. And they are going to start to buy up, but we're all even. 10 apiece. Liquid off the back of 2 successful A holds. What are you going to do next, FURIA?
See, in previous iterations of Vertigo, back when we had that toolbox and mid-window to B site, I feel like FURIA were one of the first teams, especially in NA, that really adopted those aggressive B splits. So I know their playbook goes deeper, but they want the consistency of the A site hits, and Art, he will waste no time charging into Grim. Finally, he finds players not in those deep positions, but rather facing forward on ramp, and Naf now trying to lock it down, trying to pick up the pieces after his first 2 teammates die empty-handed. They somehow turn this back, and it's a slight edge. Oh, so slight for Liquid, because Naf is barely alive, and the bullet penetrating the walls as he retreats. Grim and Elige, both so far forward, Vince, that FURIA catch them sleeping. They thought that deep smoke was going to be enough. They try to change tail towards this opposite bomb site. It's Twist's turn to shine. He's playing close proximity. K-Serrado watching the bomb site. Quick little snap onto the face of Twist. And Stewie's behind Big Green. A smoke grenade that he's going to try and peer over top of, but it's way too effective at cutting off his vision. Oh, and a little bit of smoke spam almost kills Henny. Stewie has the confirmation as he hops up over. K-Serrado has a safe plant, and Stewie, looming inwards, finds the first headshot, not quite the second. Both of these players with HP in the teens, and Henny's back on quad. Naf goes high. Bomb ticking, Henny in position, keeping it cool and calm and collected, but Naf is hunting for him. He can smell him, but he can't see him. Henny takes the clutch.
My God, such a close-knit round. Beautiful place to kick things off with Art's aggression, and then Naflight controlled chaos with that incendiary pop down on side. It allowed him to open up onto the site itself and play so aggressively. But then Henny, using the smallest of pillars as his sanctuary, is going to come out and clutch. And now FURIA going to let Liquid stew on that. Yeah, we just beat you. What of it? What you got to say about that? We're going to let you just chill off for a little bit. We're going to let you think about what we're going to do next. Are we going to hit A again fast? Or are we going to mix it up, Liquid?
Those final 10 rounds, Vince. God, please, give me every overtime, every map. I just don't want this to end. This is like the rivalry that has been brewing over months in NACS. and it's delivering better than ever. Alish, he's gonna get that quick peek. Smokes in the faces of the T's yet again, but of course they're just gonna push right through it. Grim this time able to get a kill, and Naf is close enough. That's a great grenade.
Ordnance on point, Nafly going aggressive. We haven't seen this too many times from Liquid. They're typically giving up these angles, and maybe that's why. Vinny faster on the trigger. Naf banished to the Nether Realm for a little bit longer. Stewie, MP9 darting up. He can be as mobile as possible, can be as much of a nuisance as possible. Just comes in and taps here and there with the MP9, yielding 2 kills. And now this round quickly subsiding away from FURIA. They need Vinny on 25 and Yuri on 55 to try and clutch this 2v3. They have time to play with, but no grenades between the two of them. Do they decide to pull the plug and play some mind games? It doesn't appear to be the case, and Grim up on these boxes has been so very deadly, so very powerful. Just needs to wait until he hears the bomb get tickled, and then those 2 teammates that are waiting around elevator will rise to the occasion. Yuri also making moves in. There is the tickle on the bomb they're waiting for. However, player on side, going to be flashed out. Good play from Twist, but FURIA affording themselves the chance at a post plant gives them some options going forward. However, won't be in this round. It's only Art that can realistically afford a rifle, so they may just dip out of this. Or not.
Or not. That's the solo buy. Art's going to solo buy. We've seen this across the event. If anybody ever has just one AK for FURIA, it's obviously Art. Oh, they're all gonna go. Okay. I love this. We haven't had a save round yet. Not that I can remember. And maybe it's because there's just been so many highlights that I'm misspeaking here, but I swear we have not seen a save. And so they're not even gonna try and save cash for the next one, Vince. It's just a buyback. Blow for blow at the moment, but finally we have a round for Liquid where they can establish that A ramp control and nobody's just stampeding through it. Instead, they're looking to boost Art up. He has to be the reason they get an opening, but he's spotted. So back to the drawing board. Or do they just try and pummel through with those pistols? Because there is a chance they catch the defense off guard, but with 3 players here, it is looking all too easy. K. Serrato, nowhere to be found. Maybe he punishes Alish on the lurk, but not even that goes the way of FURIA. Team Liquid taking total control of the moment, and now leaving FURIA strapped for cash. Save rounds coming in for them, which leaves Liquid all the easier route to get to that 13th round, man. This should absolutely be it. Team Liquid putting FURIA in a difficult spot on their map choice.
Yeah, that force buy not really paying off. The early damage from the Glockable weapons enough to yield the kill into Twist, but this is where fish in a barrel for Stewie. 2K, 4K, he'll happily take those and pad those stats. It was a gimme, it was a throwaway for FURIA, and now they've got to dip back into this round, and it's still not ideal. Vinny, 3.4K, Art, 2.8K. These 2 players going to be coming in with a Galil and an AK-47. They did actually pull it off, but Henny's just been shanked at spawn. Bruh. 70 HP for no reason. That's now put him into the M4 headshot territory.
Here's the peek off the grenades. Good utility usage. Again, just kind of calling out those positions on the side of the smokes. FURIA having an affinity for them. Flash here for Yuri to try and challenge. He's got a leash pinned in Henny. Half his health now gone. But there are not 1, but 2, but 3 CTs in position on this A site. K. Serrato has just a minimal gap over smoke. And after all of that flurry, after all of that exchange, Team Liquid back off ever so slightly. And as they move back, FURIA move forward. They're setting utility, but here comes Grim, able to catch them off. A second kill, a third. 3 AK headshots for Grim on the A site. Vinny, he is stunned and stunted on that ramp. Had no chance in hell of escaping the wrath of Team Liquid's re-engagement. It looked like they had fallen back. FURIA take the space that they could for free, and in that moment of comfort, Team Liquid kick in the front door, Vince. They raid them and take absolutely everything for their own. 3 frags for Grim, all headshots.
You know, you used that analogy earlier of the UFC fighters, you know, the flyweights just taking these consistent little pops at each other. Maybe this is the kind of FURIA running their gas tank low.
Maybe.
They've stalled now. They're fatiguing. It doesn't seem like that they have as many ideas as perhaps Liquid did on their T side. But of course, I could be proven very wrong. They still have timeouts at their disposal, but it's more the rounds that are running out of time. They need to be picking up some rounds right here, right now, and they're not going to have a great buy coming through into this. Grim, though, just huge. This 3K, absolutely exquisite. 3 headshots, spray transfer on top of it, and FURIA will dip in for yet another timeout.
You know, there's talent across the entire board for both of these teams. And on the side of Liquid, you know, you've got some incredible riflers. For a team to have gotten as much accomplished as they have without ever really having that hard, dedicated, pure blood sniper, Vince, you know the rifle work is good. And I'm almost convinced at times that Grim has some of the best spray control for Team Liquid. His rifle plays phenomenal.
Yeah, I would echo that, man. I think the game is crazy.
Okay, good. Man, I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but I mean, for him to step up and like, it's one thing to do it versus lesser opponents, but now he's doing the same thing versus FURIA. So let's see what else this game has to give, because we've got a little bit of cash being collected here by FURIA. Very clearly, they're starting to play for that overtime clawback. And Vince, that's a change in pace, because for a game that had nearly no saves the entire time, what? Vinny just slaps Stewie across the face with the CZ. And that's a bit of a hiccup. That's a bit of a mistake. That could come back to cost them, because Elish, he gets softened up by the grenades, but it may not be enough. Art can't quite finish the frag. Even the wall bang leaves Elish still standing, but another sidearm frag. And this is starting to go well for FURIA. They had little to work with. Vinny, he gets caught in the top of mid, so that AK is brought back. And FURIA, well, they're brought back to this B site by Henny. He's looking to exchange with Twists. He's got a good angle on the side of those boxes, but it gets called out. Twists now on his 20th kill and looking for another double to get that 15th on the board for Liquid. And FURIA, it is all falling around them, Vince. They just can't quite crack open this B site. They have Twist pinned in, down he goes, but 1 HP and 2 CTs means Liquid find 15.
4 map points for Liquid over on FURIA's pick. And that first pick from Vinny was looking good when Quesarado chipped in for a second. I was fearing the worst. I thought maybe they were playing the rope-a-dope. I thought they were fatigued of ideas. Nearly pulled it off. Really cool triple grenade setup as well, purely off the basis of Grim playing there that last round and getting the triple spray. They tried to just destroy him before anything else came into fruition. But FURIA do at least have a very solid, healthy buy coming through into what could be the final round of the first map of our grand finals. Hard taking damage though from a HE. We'll just pull the plug slightly, decides to back away. Let these smokes run the course. Oh my goodness, Quesarado gets wrecked through the wall. 9 HP left. Didn't even tag his opposition, by the way. That is a horrendous trade. Of course, Liquid don't know this for guaranteed certainty. Grim thinking about going for that peak. Flashbang in first, spins around, there's one. Nearly gets the second, and now Nafly follows him up for 2 more. The trade's going beautifully in favor of Liquid. Oh my god, that aggression yields so much, and Liquid take the first map.
The aggression, the timing, even when they would give a little bit of room on ramp for FURIA to try and work with, Team Liquid were never that far behind, constantly re-aggressing into those setups, and it just didn't seem like FURIA could take over ramp. And Henny's performance is lackluster showing here on Vertigo. Normally, he has a ramp locked down from both top and bottom. Vince, it's a hell of a first map, and we still have at least 1 more to go. Our analyst will join you guys after the break to unpack Vertigo, and we'll see you soon enough.